let's take this one as the image that is completely adjusted already. Okay? And basics of masking, right? So I'm gonna do a really basics of masking what this masking is. If you have a selection, selected area, and you take a look at the layers, and with the selection active, and if you click on to add mask, you hide the area that wasn't selected and showing the area that was selected. That is what this mask is about. Here, there is a mask here. So the black area is hiding the picture. So you see this checker mark, transparency. And the white area is the visible area. Now, I'm going to get rid of not the whole picture, but the mask. So that is for, say, to hide certain part of the picture or show there's certain part of the picture if you have a layers. But if you like to adjust only certain part of the picture, what do? Then you simply start selecting the areas. I am going to do something else in here. I can use any selection tools. And I was gonna just select this way, but this is probably too rough and too much. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to go to select from the top menu. And I'm gonna go to something called color range. This color range, I think did we take a look at it before?
Color what?
Color range. Okay, so the color range is helpful if you have color or tonal separation and select certain areas. Like for example, if you like to select this color, then click on it and then start lowering the fuzziness. And this is the preview. Wherever that is white is selected. Black is not selected. You can add that selection by clicking on to add and say, well, I'm gonna just keep going. Well, it did pretty well actually. But I'll click one more time here. And I'm just to keep adding to the selection saying to Photoshop that this is the color that I'm trying to select. And this is a selection. It's pretty good. Don't you think?
Would you repeat what you did?
And then I'll say OK, and this blue area is selected. I'm going to deselect. I'll try that. Go to filter the selection, select, color range, and you start with all the way to 100% fuzziness. So nothing is specified or everything is inclusive right now. Everything is included, basically. There are 3 eyedropper tools. One, this is where you should start. And this eyedropper tool, select it. You choose the area that you like to select. Say, I would like to select her hair, click. Then that hair that I clicked on becomes light. Other area is darker, that is not selected. I would like to create more contrast so that my selection becomes more clean and obvious.
Is there something special about the left eyedropper?
This one?
Yes.
This one is special because that is how you start specifying where you want to sample. What color you like to get. And then slowly you start to put in the fuzziness.
So with the fuzziness, so I just did this yesterday because I was changing the color of a background.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the color range, I did the selection. There's the fun. So at the end of the product that I had, at the end, there was this real sort of separation from the subject to the background at this
Mm-hmm.
point. It was
Mm-hmm.
so. Does the fuzziness help almost feather that?
Fuzziness could help that, but fuzziness, I would use it to separate it. And if you like to have a feather, I would feather it after I make a mask,
Okay.
later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't understand what, by moving it to the left, what are you achieving?
So if I'm moving all the way here, I don't see any separations of where it's selected and not selected. As I move a fuzziness inwards, you see how it's separated into black area and then white area, just like how we see it in the mask. And that is achieving this white area to be a selected area, this black area to be not selected area. So I would like to create that separation.
So you move it to the left until
You feel that you have enough separation.
which eyedropper did you?
So first, I start with this. This is the starting point. And if you like to keep adding, then plus mark. The minus is subtracting. Subtracting gets a little tricky, so I don't really use that too much. I always add to sample.
Is that you're talking about adding to the mask?
Adding to the selection, yeah. I am going to show you another one, specifically for some picture like this. There is sample colors area, select sample colors, which is you're telling Photoshop to pick specific colors. You can choose to pick certain colors or tones or skin tones. And then you can start to put this, which is not so successful, so I'm gonna give up on that actually. But sometimes it really will separate the face to all the other ones or body parts to all the other ones. So this is another options for you. I think sample colors is helping for me, so I'll do that again and maybe try to do that here. So you have the selection. And if you like to go into curves, then this curves adjustment has a mask on it to the area that has this almost like face and then some of the face of the baby, the hands, and then the hair too. You can kind of see that. Of course, this requires feathering. Then it looks much better. Now, let's talk about the curves. I jump in here. So the curves in an adjustment layer, I always show you curves because curves are really useful tools. You can adjust any tones from the darkest dark to the lightest light. This peak or the histogram that you are looking at is the selected area's tonal and color information. That's why it's only peaks in the middle.
So those are all midtones?
Yeah, it seems like midtones to slightly brighter tones is what this face is. And if you use this hand mark, this is a targeting tool, and you can come over to certain areas like here to target. So it is kind of obvious that there is a cluster of information in this area, and then if I come over to the cheek, then it also is overlapping basically. I click on it, and the anchor points start to become created. In that anchor point, you can drag it up and down, or you can use the arrow keys to go up and down to add some tone differences. I think it is a little too hot, so I'm gonna just bring down a bit. This is the overall adjustment that I'm doing. This adjustments that I added is applied to RGB channels altogether. So when I'm doing that, it's only affecting the tones, not the individual color adjustments. We're talking about how it looks slightly green. I don't think so much, but I'm gonna just go to green channel, and I will start to put a little bit of adjustment on here. Same thing. I'm still using this targeting tool. I'll come over to this cheek area, and anchor points created. If you like to add green, then you will grab this one and pull it out up, or you can use the arrow key to go up, which is very green, or you like to go down to take down the greenness. And I think just a little bit like this could be helpful. It's just only 4 points. But that could give you a little bit more of the not too pale skin tone. Possibly now it looks slightly blue on my monitor. On here, I'm not really sure, but let me just go to a blue channel and then click onto the cheek area again. And I have the anchor point. If it is too blue, then I will bring this point down. I'm using the arrow key and then adding slight yellow. Top, so it's just really like 4 point again. And from here to here. So this is a mask. And this is a mask created by selecting the skin area using this color range. So this really starts with selection. I'm going to save this one in and then go back to something else too.